Greetings everyone, Ed Smith from Southern Maryland, here with a quick tutorial on how to get out of debt. The question, do you currently carry a lot of non-mortgage debt, just basic consumer debt? If so, would you like to know a way that you can get out of it as rapidly as possible? I'm talking as soon as 15 months from now. If that's you, stick around because you will want to see what we have to offer here with this training, okay? So let's talk about debt for a little bit. It's something that's near and dear to all of our hearts. We all have it. We've all seen it. We've all dealt with it. We've all felt the impacts of it. And for a lot of people, it's crushing, really, really crushing. So how do you attack this beast that's causing all this burden, this beast of burden? How do you attack it? Simple. You have to hit it face first. Hit it head on. You cannot let it fester. You can't hide and pretend like it's not there. It's not going to go anywhere unless you attack it. Continuing to pay just a minimum payment will keep you in debt forever. Forever. The best way to get out of it is to attack it head on. There are many, many methods out there. They all have their pros and cons. You have to decide which one works best for you and your situation. It's individualized, okay? However, there is a method that's advocated by the Dave Ramsey Solutions Company. It's called the debt snowball, as you can see here on the screen, okay? It is not the only method, but it is a fast method of getting you out of debt. We're gonna put a twist on it and make it even faster. So going back to where I said at the beginning, you can be out of debt in 18 months with your non-mortgage debt. We're gonna show you how to do that with what I'm referring to as the debt snowball accelerator, okay? Or the rapid acceleration debt snowball, whatever you want to call it, something to that effect, which is basically taking this concept from Dave Ramsey of the debt snowball, adding something to it to ignite it and make it go faster. All right. So that's what we're going to get into. If that's what you're here for, stick around. We'll show you how to do it step by step. All you have to do is follow the steps and walk through it, and you can make it happen for yourself. Okay. So let's get into it. So let's talk about the snowball for a little bit. All right. So the debt snowball. The main idea is to take your debt and start with what's your lowest balance. Pay that off first, and then roll to the next lowest balance. Pay that off, roll to the next lowest balance, pay it off. So you're basically just paying off your debt lowest to highest, okay? So think of it like the snowball concept. If you had a small snowball and you wanted to make it bigger, what would you do? You would put it in the snow and roll it, and as it rolls, it's going to pick up more snow and get bigger and bigger. You know, or if you roll down a hill, as it goes down the hill, it's going to get faster and bigger as it goes. Same concept, same idea. The whole point of it is to get momentum going and just use that momentum to catapult you to the end game of the bigger, stronger snowball. And in this case, catapult you to the end game of debt be gone. Okay? That's how it works. So I'll post a link to this article here from the Ramsey website so you can look at it. But I mean, it's a lot of good information. You can read through it. But here's the gist of it from how the snowball works. All right. Basically, you pay off your debt in order, smallest to largest, gaining momentum as you knock out each remaining balance. When the smallest debt is paid in full, you roll the minimum payment that you are making on that debt into the next smallest debt payment and keep it going. That's just how it works. So here's a kind of a graphical representation of that same thing. List your debts in order, smallest to largest, attack the smallest one, make the minimum payments on the rest. Then, as the smallest one gets gone, you know, you pack that payment onto the next one and you repeat until you're debt free. That is the goal. That is the goal. Okay, and again, as I said before, this is not the only method because this method does not account for interest payments at all. Okay, and some people, you know, they focus on the interest, but in this case, we're not going to care because when we add our accelerator to it, it's going to knock it out in 18 months or less than 15 months anyway, so it's not going to matter in the grand scheme of things. All right, so how do you get money for the snowball? Here, they list some options, how to get extra money, lower expenses, cut spending, sell stuff, or nab a side hustle. That's the route we advocate with this process, a side hustle. Why? Because the side hustle will inject a quick burst of cash that's available to you that you can apply towards the debt so you can knock them out faster. And we'll show you step by step how that all works here in a minute. Okay, so again, this page has a lot of information about the debt snowball. Go through it, read it, absorb it, take it all in to get a better understanding of where we're going. All right, now the way we're going to track this is with a free tool on a site called Vortex 42. Okay, so, and I'll put the link to this down here in the notes as well. But this is a free calculator, debt snowball calculator that they have. And when you come to this page, there's a lot of information, a lot of ads. Just ignore the ads. It's kind of annoying, but just ignore them anyway. So what you're looking for here is this debt reduction calculator. This is the free version, okay? You can add up to 10 creditors, and they have two options, either Excel or Google Sheets. I prefer the Google Sheets one only because it's mobile, meaning you can log into it from anywhere that you have access to Google, and you can access the information. Whereas if you had an Excel, the only way you can get to it is with the computer that you download it to. So that's just personal preference. Makes no difference. But use the free versions here. If you need more than 10 creditors, which in reality you can work it so you don't need more than 10. But if you actually needed more than 10, then on this page there's also a paid version, where you can get more. You get up to 40 creditors. Okay, but that's on you. It's an option. But as I said, there are many options, many ways to pay down debt. We're going to use a debt snowball. And on this page, there's a bunch of information about different options, different strategies you can use to pay down debt and other options. So read through this page too as well. All right. So the bottom line is we're going to use this calculator here, the free one. And I'm going to use the Google Sheets one. And I already brought it up. And I put in some fake information just to, so we can have something to look at and understand. All right. So in this scenario, in our scenario here, we have 10 debts. We have credit cards, auto loans, student loans, personal loans, department store, okay? All the balances for each, the interest rates, and then how much the minimum monthly payment is for each, okay? That's all we need to focus on for this moment. This custom is just if you wanted to put a custom number of importance assigned to each one of these debts, you could, but we don't really care about that because we're going to use the snowball method, which is lowest balance to highest balance, okay? So as you can see here now, they're kind of all over the place. There's no order. It's just how we fill them into the spreadsheet. Don't worry about that because when we get to the bottom, it's going to show you how it's going to be rearranged lowest to highest so you can see how it works. Okay, so here it is. Based on this, in this scenario, we have $168,900 in debt. Okay, with total minimum balances of $2,025. So if we only paid the minimum balance each month, we would pay $2,025. All right. That leaves us with nothing for our snowball if we only pay the minimum balance. So the goal is to increase this snowball. And how do we do that? Again, like from the other page, you can sell stuff, you can reduce stuff, you can cut back on expenses, cut out cable, cut out your Netflix subscription, cut out the gym membership, whatever, cut back on the Starbucks. Or you can do what we advocate, which is add a side hustle. I'd rather add than cut. It's a lot easier for us to add to than cut. You can't save your way out of debt. You just can't. It won't work that way. You have to add something to it. So we're going to use the add method with the side hustle. But as you see down here with the snowball method, it rearranged the debt down here so that, it's lowest to highest, okay, for the top 10. And then over here, it tells you how long it'll take you to pay off each one if we only pay the minimum balance. So it's 23 now. And you can see here, for instance, the first one, it took us 2 years, 6 months, 3 years, 2 months, down here, 9 years, 5 months, okay? So bottom line is we'll be in debt well into 2032 if all we paid was the minimum balance, okay? So now, here's the deal. Let's see the impact of adding just a little bit to this account, to our snowball, okay? So let's say the minimum is 2025, but we can somehow scrape up, let's say 2,300 to put towards our bills, okay? So this calculator, you can play with it. You can plug in whatever numbers you want. It's simply clicking in the cell, and like Excel, you just type in a number. So we say, boom, we can come up with $2,300 to put towards this debt. And the same thing works up here. You click in the cell and type in, okay? So 2,300. Our minimum due is 2025. That leaves us a surplus of 2075, which is considered our snowball. That's the extra that we're going to put towards each debt. Now, what that does is, or how it works, is We take the minimum payment for every payment we have, pay the minimum, with the exception of our lowest balance. With the lowest balance one, we're going to add the monthly minimum to the Snowball and pay that until that debt is gone. And then we're going to take that payment and then go to the next one and do the same thing. We're going to repeat the process over and over and over again. Okay. So now, if you notice, just by adding that little amount, $275 per month as our Snowball, it changed our end game from 2032 to 2030. It saved us 2 years already just doing that. Okay. That's how this works. The Snowball, the more you can add, the faster you're going to get out of debt. Okay. Now let's go to the next tab and we'll show you a breakdown of how this all works. So these are the same debts listed just in a column form as opposed to a row. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, in a row form as opposed to columns. All right. So as you can see, the creditors are up here in the same order that was on the other sheet. And then you got the lowest balance to the highest balance. Okay. Going across. All right. So here it shows you the interest rate for each and how much the minimum payment is for each. And so the name of the game is you're going to pay each minimum balance on every one of them, but the lowest one. The lowest one is where you're going to add your Snowball, which in this case is $275. Okay, and we'll show it down here in a minute. But here it shows you how many months it's going to take you to pay off each one based on the current Snowball and your month and year that you're going to be out of debt. Okay, so down here it shows you how it works. So you have your minimum monthly, which is for this first debt, $25, plus the Snowball of $275. That means you're paying $300 each month on your minimum balance one, your card number 4, and then the rest you're just paying the minimum. And you keep repeating that each month. You're paying $300, keep going until you get down here where this card number 4 is paid off completely. So you have zero balance. So what you're gonna do is the next time around, you're gonna take this $300 that you were paying on this card, apply it to this one. Okay, so you take the $300 plus the $50 that you were paying before. Now you have $350 going towards this card, and you repeat the process. You keep going, you just pay until this card gets paid off, and then you take the amount, the $350 here, you add it to the $150 that you were paying on this one, and you just keep going until you pay this off. And so the process it repeats like that over and over and over again until you get everything paid off. So down here we are in 2030. Okay, we finally get out of debt, out of non-mortgage consumer debt. Okay, so that's the power of how the Snowball works. You get out of debt a lot faster. However, here's where the magic happens with the accelerator. Let's use the Snowball method as a foundation to get started, and then we add a side gig as mentioned on the other page from Dave Ramsey, and we find a side gig. Realistically, the side gig is a means to an end. It doesn't really matter what it is as long as it's legal and ethical. It doesn't really matter. The main thing you want to find something that is going to be low expense, for you to get started and get going, because you don't really want to go into a whole lot of debt trying to get out of debt. You know what I'm saying? So you want to find something that's minimal cost to get started, that has a high yield rate of return for you, and that you can make money with relatively quickly. Okay, those are the key things you want to look for when you're adding your side hustle. Again, the side hustle really does not matter what it is. It is simply a means to an end. Now, the side hustle I recommend, I found that meets all those criteria, is low cost of entry, low starting point, low starting threshold, high yield in the back end, and you can get it going rapidly. Is a company that's in the health and wellness space, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. We'll get into the company, but let me just show you how it works. Okay, how this concept works with the rapid accelerator for the debt Snowball. Let's just say you bring in $1,000 as revenue from your side gig, okay, for the first month. So in this case, we start in January of 2023. In our first month, we bring in $1,000. That's the goal we're shooting for. We're gonna bring in an extra $1,000 in the first month in February, okay? So boom, when you do that, watch what happens. You notice Or actually, you can see it up here. Date paid off. It changed. As you add more money, this line right here, month to pay off, changes. So now it's November 30th, just by adding an extra $1,000 for that 1 month in February. See how that works? And in fact, let me take it off so you can see. Watch up here. Watch this line here. Okay. Let me take it off so you can see. You can see now how initially this was 3032 or 2032. Now it's with our snowball of 275. It's December 30. But when we add our $1,000 for the first month, it changed to November 30. And so if we can generate $1,000 every month for our side gig, we can see, watch those dates. I'm just gonna copy this down for a few months. As we add more, see this date change. It keeps going down. The more we add as our accelerator, the faster this date goes down. Okay, so if we kept adding $1,000 from our side gig each month, keep going. Let me see. If that's all we did, let me stop there and see what happens. Yep. Okay. If that's all we did, you can see right here, our new debt-free date is February 28th. February 28th. Okay. So not February 28th, February of 28. Okay. So just doing that alone reduces our payoff period down to February of 28 here. Okay. Now, understand something. The side hustle we're gonna recommend is known as affiliate marketing, and that concept is basically where you market someone else's product or service, and they pay you a commission. And so the more sales you generate, the higher your commission. So we're not gonna just sit on our laurels and say, okay, we made $1,000 and we're gonna stick to $1,000. No, we're gonna keep working and keep trying to make this bigger and bigger each month. So let's say the second month we added extra $1,000. So now we got $2,000 for the second month. And you can see what it does. It's changing its date. Every time you add more money to the accelerator, you're throwing fuel on this fire, and it's getting bigger and bigger and faster. That's what we want to happen. Okay. So if we were to repeat the same thing, now we're doing 2,000 instead of 1,000, and you watch and you can see the date. Every time we add, that date changes. See, keeps going. Okay. Every time it keeps going. So here we are. Now we're down to October of 26. Okay. So let's just say we keep that process going with our side hustle. We're working it. We're cruising. We got things going in our favor, and we're adding $1,000 to every month. Okay. So let me just take this and say, I'll make a formula of it and say, I wonder if I can do this easily. Equals 2,000 plus 1,000, rather than me having to keep doing it every month. Let's just do that. Or no, I'm sorry. I want to go equal this sale plus 1,000. Yeah, that's what I want. I want equal the last additional payment plus 1,000 each month. And so we're going to repeat that over and over and over again. So we're going to say every month we're adding the extra $1,000 to our business. Okay. Every month. Doing that, look what happened. June of 24, right here, June of 24. If we had a side hustle that brought us in $1,000 extra every month, and we added that to that every month and just added 1,000 more, we would go from 2032 to 2024, June of 2024, which is roughly about, 15 months from now, and you have all of your non-mortgage debt paid off. And then guess what? Now you got this much each month that you can throw at your mortgage. Imagine how fast you would knock it off with that. All right, that's $17,000 a month that that you would knock out your mortgage in. Right? Does that make sense? Do you understand the beauty of it? The rapid snowball accelerator can get you out of debt quickly. If that sounds like your cup of tea, if that sounds like something you want to be involved with, let me know below. I'll contact you and I'll show you the opportunity that I'm talking about. Or if someone else points you to this video and you want to use this process with the side hustle and they have a side hustle they want to introduce you to, get back with them and let them give you their side hustle, okay? I'm not in this just for me. This is to help other people get out of debt fast, because debt is annoying. It's a burden and we need to get rid of it, all right? Now, my program will do exactly what I said. It will help you and allow you to add $1,000 each month and get to these levels real quick in the 15-month period. But you got to want it. If you ask for it, I'll show you. Otherwise, I'm keeping it a secret. And I'll just do it for mine, knock my own debt out, all right? So with that, I'm done. This is Ed Smith again from Southern Maryland. Thanks for tuning in. If you have questions, have comments, drop them below. Let's work this, people. Let's help families get rid of this burden of debt, because it's weighing us all down. It's crushing us, all right? We got to get it gone. With that, I'll talk to you later. Peace.